Chapter 926. The dark clouds vanished, and the sun shone through once more. As the fight ended, the spectators down the hill looked up at the top of the hill in a daze. They were utterly dazzled. They would not forget this fight for the rest of their lives. They only saw the humongous realm demon. They did not get to see the fight in detail, but just the energy and spiritual pressure released from the fight were enough for them to reminisce about this fight for a lifetime. Styles Dune was extremely powerful. His realm demon was truly invincible. Everyone let their hands down and lowered their heads in respect, waiting for Styles to come down the hill. At that moment, up on the hill, Wilbur slowly walked up to Styles and smiled at him. Why? Why? Styles yelled indignantly. His body was as dry and wrinkly as a prune. He was trying his best to stay alive. Wilbur looked at him and said slowly, "Do you think that just because you're a super sanctuary level cultivator you're undefeatable? Isn't that so?" Styles said as he coughed up more blood. Wilbur shook his head. He furrowed his brows and placed his hands behind his back. He looked in the distance toward the horizon of the sea. Cultivation has no limits. Only the humans think that the sanctuary level is the peak of powers and the limit of a human's power. Is it not? Styles coughed up blood once more, looking indignant. Wilbur smiled calmly and said, "I can tell you for sure that it is not." Styles was stunned. Then, he started laughing maniacally, all the while coughing out more blood. Wilbur looked at him before saying, "You're about to die anyway. Could you tell me where your realm demon gets its powers from? You're curious to know?" Styles' mouth was covered in blood. He looked at Wilbur excitedly. Wilbur nodded. Styles smiled smugly, which then turned into a maniacal laugh. He spat out large amounts of blood, forming a pool of blood on the ground. "I will never tell you this. You will never know," Styles said menacingly. Wilbur sighed and headed down the hill. Styles' expressions changed. A moment later, he slowly fell to the ground with a scornful gaze. At that moment, down the hill, everyone had their hands by the side, patiently waiting for Styles to come down. When a figure appeared, Logan immediately yelled, "Greetings, Mr. Dune." "Greetings, Mr. Dune." Everyone knelt on one knee, the highest form of respect among the cultivation circles. Wilbur noticed. He chuckled and slowly walked down the hill. When he appeared by the entrance of the road, those who could see him looked confused. Logan and Gaston looked at Wilbur in a daze. Christopher was shocked. He froze on the spot. "Where is Mr. Dune?" Logan asked. Wilbur looked at him without any expression on his face. He said nothing either. After a moment of silence, Gaston said timidly, "Impossible. This is impossible." Logan finally came to his senses. His gaze widened with fear as if he had just seen a ghost. He trembled. Christopher wanted to say something, but he was so excited that he was lost for words. Right at that moment, the bosses of Aroma quickly rushed over. When Styles came down from the hill, they were the first group of people who had the right to congratulate him. The others had to wait their turn. This was the symbol of their status. They delightfully rushed over with a groveling expression. However, when they saw Wilbur, their expressions immediately transformed into one of fear. Samson was especially horrified. He pointed at Wilbur and asked, You, where is Mr. Dune?"